Oh, yeah,
There we go. Nice. Well done.
So here are 4 different types of brakes. If you notice, these two have separate calipers that go in through like a post through here, like on the frame, whereas these two have parts coming out that go through the frame.
The youth that come to these programs are taken seriously from the moment that they get here, and it's my job to help them feel self-sufficient, independent, and step into their own sense of leadership within this space. We have youth apprentices who are tasked with instructing each of the lessons.
When I was offered the chance to work at bike school, and at first I was a bit apprehensive because I was like, I'm a horrible teacher. But I've been given the experience and I've learned a lot from it. I've learned, teaching is also kind of learning in a way, because I've learned a lot more about bikes than I originally knew, because I need to know this stuff to teach to other people. So it's been like really just a great experience to enrich myself basically for learning about bikes.
We're very proudly a Black-led organization, and our executive director came up through the ranks, started out as a somewhat resistant earn-a-bike participant, and really flourished here. And I think that I can only imagine that if you're a youth of color and you are walking into an organization where that is represented in the leadership of the organization, that it makes it easier to be here, it makes it more welcoming to be here.
When I first came here, there was just such a vibrant energy, you know, you can feel it. The folks who were running the program and the participants in the program, they just embraced me. I was just immediately a part of their community. And when you find that, or at least when I did, I wanted to hold on to it for as long as I could. And so I came back to volunteer, and then it became my first job. And yeah, it was home away from home. That's kind of what Bikes Not Bombs has been to me. We're a people-powered movement that is grounded in solidarity and motivated to create a sustainable future for all. I think there's so much that's challenging about the world that we live in, and Bikes Not Bombs is about a solution. Using the bicycle helps us address so much of what's wrong about today.
Bikes Not Bombs represents opportunity. It represents opportunity for economic mobility, because people can learn how to build up bicycles and work in bike shops, or they can use the bicycle to get to their job. I think it also represents an opportunity for education. Bicycles have very visible parts, right? The drivetrain and all of the systems are visible, and they're on the outside. I also think it's an opportunity to save the environment, right? Bicycles have basically 0 carbon emissions, and there's such an efficient way to get around. And I think Bikes Not Bombs, using recycled bicycles that have been donated to us from the community, we're taking bikes that would have been in the garbage or recycled anyway, and we're giving them a new life.
It's hard to have a happy family if we're not all stable. And one of the things we do is providing young people with jobs or providing people with skills so that they can find some stability. Even though we're learning bike mechanics and some very non-traditional things, like the support and the social emotional skills are still here to learn. And that's another unique part of it, is that you wouldn't think that you can relate even going up a hill to life. Like, life is hard when you're going up that hill. But one thing I told a student the other day, the more you do it, the more comfortable you get with it, the easier it gets, and that can be applied to life as well.
Of all the bike shops that exist, they were pretty concentrated in the commercial parts of the city, downtown, Fenway. If you look a little bit outside of Boston, in Cambridge and Somerville, there are tons of bike shops. When you look a little bit south of the city, Roxbury, Mattapan, and Dorchester, there's one bike shop to be shared across all 3. There's a myth that people of color don't bike, and I think we've proven that that's not true. What we see as our role is to build the infrastructure to support that thriving community.
I think opening up the Roxbury Hub is so essential to what we're about as an organization and what our mission is. It allows us to really be in one of our target neighborhoods, which are Roxbury, Mattapan, and Dorchester, and have a program right there in the community where youth can go to. I would say there's one way that we're doing what we've always done, and we're just doing it in a more profound way and with a bigger footprint.
When I heard that we had a new site over there and the plans for what we have in the future, I got really excited because I've been wondering for years, like, why don't we expand? Why don't we kind of get to other neighborhoods? Because for some, it's not easy to always come to us, and especially if they're either just outside of the city or just on the other side of the city, it's definitely trickier. So it's nice to have a new site there, and I can't wait to hopefully one day have more locations throughout the city that we can kind of touch up on all the neighborhoods.
Roxbury's focus is also on social emotional learning, and that was my primary work in a middle school back in Rhode Island. When I first started working here, I was pleasantly surprised at how much responsibility the youth apprentices have and how much they contribute. When I had heard about Bikes Not Bombs, I knew that that was a big component, but I think seeing the students or the participants go from earn a bike all the way to that really kind of illustrates one of the main focuses of Bikes Not Bombs, which is like youth empowerment. I think that the way it's structured is really, really conducive to that. I think it makes a lot of sense, and I think it's really, really powerful.
I think that both our participants as well as our donors are really looking to Bikes Not Bombs for hope and inspiration at a time when it's really hard to find.
When someone graduates from Bikes Not Bombs, you know the quality of their character and you know the quality of their work and their work ethic. And I don't think you could say that about a lot of youth programs.
I would love to see a Bikes Not Bombs everywhere there's an opportunity to use the bicycle as a vehicle for social change. And honestly, I can't think of a community where that's not a need. I would love to see a Bikes Not Bombs hub, a place where young people can go to get training and after-school jobs, where people can go to get their bike service, where there's just a vibrant community of people, but who see the bicycle as a solution to issues in our society.